Welcome to the video demonstration of JS-Distributor. Here we have a simple JavaScript file with 4 simple functions: generate ID, create user, log events, and main function, which calls the other ones. If we will run this application, we can see that it creates an user in the database and it generates an ID for it, and everything runs locally. Now let's split these functions in different services, creating microservices as we want. All we need to do is to create a config.yml file where we specify how many servers we want, in this case 2 servers, alpha and beta, and also where each function will run. In this case, generate ID and create user will run on alpha, and main and log event will run on beta. We also specify which methods they're going to use, get or post, and their parameters. All we have to do now is run the tool to generate the code. Let's do it now. As we can see, a new folder was generated with the functions for both servers. The code is split in 2 parts. Functions alpha and beta contain the client parts, and start alpha and beta contain the server parts. For example, let's look at log event, which runs in the beta server. Functions beta contain the fetch code that will reach the server, and the start beta will contain the code that establishes the get endpoint using express in this case. The same happens for all the other functions according to the config file. Let's now start those servers. Here I will start the alpha server. As we can see, it is now running on port 3000. Here we will start the beta server, which is now running on port 3001. And right now we have all functions accessible to these servers. For example, the main function is accessible in the beta server. So we can send here a request in the 3001, which is the beta server, to the main function. As we can see, the function runs here on the beta server, but a call is sent to the alpha server because part of the functions are here. And in the end, both servers contribute to execute the same function as originally intended. JS-Distributor can also help in changing things after it is already implemented. For example, let's do this. I have added a new server called Gamma, which is configured for port 2002, and it also is configured to support RabbitMQ. Right now, I have already started the 3 servers in watch mode, so as I change the files, everything is reloaded automatically. Right now, we have generate ID on alpha, create user on alpha, main on beta, and log event on beta. If we run the main function from beta, as we can see, only alpha and beta has print messages. Say we want to move the log events to gamma, and also we want to change the method for, instead of get, post. Whenever I save it, you can see that everything is reloaded. And now, if I run the method again, we can see that the log event function now runs on gamma. As we can see, the entire logic remains the same, only the distribution has changed. Let's make another change, now to use RabbitMQ for asynchronous message communication. We will change generate ID, which currently is running on the alpha server, to run on gamma server, and instead of an HTTP GET, now it will use Rabbit. As I save it, everything is regenerated, and now we can see that gamma server is waiting for calls because it's waiting for asynchronous calls to generate ID. But in the end, it all remains the same. As I run the main method, we can see that everything runs is the same, and the result is the same as user being saved into the database. But now we can see that the gamma server works under Rabbit. We can see that the queue is being called from alpha to gamma, and gamma is responding to the same queue. As you can see here in the start gamma JS, we configured AMQP to connect to the local host, which is where our Rabbit server is running. And here we can serve the consumer and the producer for the responses. JS-Distributor is very easy to use. All you need is the dependency in the package.json file, because it is distributed as an npm package, and also some scripts to fire the code generation. JS-Distributor gives developers flexibility to rapidly experiment with different microservices architectures. It is very easy to add new servers, move functions between servers, and change their communication technology, because the automatic code generation saves much of the implementation effort. Internally, the tool has a lexer and a parser for the JavaScript language, and a group of visitor-based generators that are responsible for creating the code, as you can see here, when it creates the endpoints for running the server. JS-Distributor is open source software. It is licensed under the MIT license. It is available at GitHub. You can see the address here, but I will also include the link in the description below. So feel free to use it and contribute with the project if you like. Thank you very much.